out with everyone that was going to go and talk to Chitoge and actually, like, encourage her, and yes, encourage her to go and get for the Raku D. Like that, out of everyone was Marika at the end. It's like, the one out of all of them that was determined, that had the blood really to do it, and it's just like, you know what? She just let, like, Chitoge let her know exactly how she feels and all that. It's just like, you know, I know, like, she was just like talking, saying like, you know, what, are you going to repeat the same things you've done 10 years ago, Chitoge? Are you going to, like, you remember, didn't you, and all that, what happened those years ago, and, you know, look, when you saw them, and it's like, and she was saying nothing can be done, and it's like, I know the two like each other, and even now they still like each other, how can I come in between them? And she just goes, you're pathetic. I have no sympathy for you. You're just making such excuses and all that. And they expect me to be nice and comfort you. In fact, I despise you. And I'm like, Jesus Christ, like, America, you want to calm down a little bit like that? And she's saying, like, all you're doing is being a hypocrite. It's not because you care for others, but because you don't want to get hurt. But you really think, you know, if you just, like, if you let go and all that, those two will get together happily. And don't joke with me. If you really wanted to do that, you would have hidden your feelings and gone to school normally. Or tell Onodera everything and yield to her. Running away is just outrageous. She's like, if you wanted, honestly, Chitoge, to let them be happy, you would have said it to Chitoge. Like, you know, like, everything and all that. You'd be like, look, I like Raku, Onodera, be happy, like that. You could have done that, but no, you're trying to hide away from everything, and you're thinking in your own way this is solving everything, when you're just making it worse for everyone in a way. It's just like, you make him feel like even as much as I don't care for Onodera, it's like, you make him feel Onodera bad, because it's like, oh, this is all her fault and all that, this is her, like, you know, friends and all that, and it's just like, and all she's thinking is like, you know, I'm sure, you know, I'm not strong, and it's like, he will not think of me much, he'll just forget me like he did when he was young, and that's why it's better if it was this way. And it's like, she doesn't, like, know about, like, how Raku is just a floozy piece of shit, where it's like, he started liking two people, and it's just like, yeah, that's what happened, and he's like, oh, but I overheard, you know, what, like, exactly what Onodera had, and then the same thing with Raku as well, and it's just like, it was a double base just like that. It's just like, yeah, that's exactly what happens. And it's just like, you know, what, you are one of those girls that he likes, and it's like, you need to hurry back right now. And it's like, you know, it isn't bad and all that, it's just, you can change what, like, I couldn't change, but it's like, why would you give up for such trivial reasons? Don't joke with me. And it's just like, are you really gonna be okay living like this? You liked him, like, till now, didn't you? And you'll regret it later if you don't confess now. I confessed many, and I mean many fucking times, even though I knew the answer from my mouth, my voice. I confessed, you know. Have you ever looked at him straight in the eyes, and is that all you got for Raku? At least the last time, you need to be a little bit more truthful. If you really liked him, then you can just pretend like nothing ever happened. I just, like, that's what I liked a lot, like, from, like, Marika. I was like, she was just fucking whipping and this, like, you know, either everything like that. And it's like, you know, like, nothing ever happened, and it's just like, look where the two went from then. It was like, you know, they came from such being cold to one another, and it's like, oh, I don't hate you, to like, oh, we're actually being really close, and like, we're actually getting along. It's like, nothing just happened. Like, you know, there was more than like everything that you've gone between for all these years and all that. So something happened, and just her holding Marika and just like crying and just going thank you and all that for everything. And it's just like, you know, running back and trying to do it. But then after everything, it's like, yeah, she goes back to try and run and find Raku. Raku comes up and all that, saying like, yo, like, the sun is rising, and it's like, oh shit. And Onodera arrives right there. So yeah, is this where we're gonna have a fucking freeway off of like what like Onodera and Raku and Chitoge are gonna be having? So, you know, we're gonna have to wait and see, because like the whole stuff with like what we had last week with like Rui, that's, you know, that's all done with. Like her and my you know, my, that's how they're gonna have their little thing right there. And now it's just like, let's go and wrap this up. And it's like, even hearing that, it's like, oh, I got, like, the guy's got a new editor, so it's like, you know, clearly there's like, hey, at least it wasn't like, you know, it was going to be saying like, oh, we only had like 2 chapters left, and it was going to be like dealing rushed, what a lot of people really thought was. So I'm glad at least that it's seemingly what it is that we've got one last volume's worth of material, like including the last 2 chapters. So we could potentially have like 5, 6 more chapters if it goes that way, or even just 4. Like, you know, so like even if like 3, if you think about it, it just depends on the pacing. But you know, with stuff like this, you know, it could like next chapter, like Chitoge could arrive when like, you know, Derek's now to say something, and you know, then after that would be like them choosing, and then the chapter after that would be Raku actually choosing, and then being happy in the air, blah 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 blah, going throughout all of that. So you know, it's I guess in a way it's gonna end for one person to be happy, but it's just like, oh, please, let it just be Chitoge. They're pushing so much on her, and it's just like, it'd be such a dick move if like Raku goes, oh, I like, you know, like I like both of you, like that. It's just like I like, he's made up his decision, so I want him to just do that. Like, you know, either way, you're gonna alienate the fans regardless of what you're gonna do, but we'll have to wait and see like what's exactly gonna happen on there. But you know, 223 I think was a really enjoyable chapter. I feel like for Marika, for someone that like I was totally on board with, I think yeah, she's like best girl for the longest and all that. I think this kind of brought me back into like why I really like Marika, and it's just that when she wants to be, she can be truthful, she can be hurtful, but then again all that, she's trying to teach you something, she's trying to like, she's clearly a lot jealous, but then as well, she's accepted it now. She's clearly accepted it, and it's like, there's a lot of great development for her, and it's shocking because her entire arc that they had about rescuing her was my least favorite part of like the entire series, and now this part is like I really enjoy, and I'm enjoying this finale that we're kind of having for the series, and just Chitoge running. I thought, you know, she's coming back and she's trying to go and see her man. It's just like, you know, and her being at the end and all that is saying, you know, why, like, just like Marika's just like, why am I playing this role and all that, and it's like, seriously, it tires me till the end, these long-haired girls like that. So, well, other than that, you know, it was enjoyable. I think definitely I'd give it like a, you know, I think it was like 7.5 to like an 8. I thought it was a really good chapter. Like, so I'm really looking forward to seeing like what the next ones are going to be happening and all that, since we are reaching that finale. So let me know, you guys, in the comment section down below what you think is going to be happening. But that's all from me. Thank you very much for watching as always, and I'll see you beautiful bastards though next time.